Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Lynn, how are you doing? I'm so glad to see you. Hope you had a great night. Actually, it's early in the morning where you are. As a matter of fact, it's what, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning there? Hello, Kelly. How are you doing? There's my son, Cody. Hope you all having a great night. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I was doing a couple of things here before I got started on the live. Regina, so good to see you. Thank you so much. And as you know, it was Cody's birthday, so happy birthday to our son Cody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
your live. I'm watching in there. It's cutting in and out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Am I all right? I'm hearing that I'm cutting in and out. It is 2 a.m., so I was right. I'm hoping I'm okay because I heard that I was cutting in and out. Liz said it was good. I'm hoping. Please let me know if y'all hear any glitching, anything like that, because I've been having some Wi-Fi problems. Um, and we're still trying to get it straightened out. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're having a great night tonight. I'm just letting you know that I am acknowledging that you are all here, and I really do appreciate you so much for being here. I really do. Just happy birthday, Cody. Kelly says sound is perfectly clear to me. Thank you so much. Glenn, a bit laggy, but not too bad. I am really sorry if we're lagging a little bit. We've been having some problems with our Wi-Fi. We're going to be talking to our cable provider tomorrow to see if we can get this all cleared out. So I really do apologize. I hope y'all can just rock with me just for a little bit. I won't keep y'all up that long today. I wanted to do a spirit box session today, but not using my Phasma box. A couple people have been asking me, what is it that I use when I'm filming? Because I don't take the Phasma box. And what I've been using is my Dead Wave app. It's been really good to me, and I love how it comes out. And a lot of people hear things directly. And so they wanted to know how come I don't use that instead of using the Phasma box. Well, I'm going to do that today. We're going to use the Dead Wave app. Kristen, so glad to see you. Doris, how are you doing? And WTF, Mike is in the house. How you doing, Mike? So glad to see you.
Acknowledge me.
I am acknowledging that you are here. Glenn said I had trouble with a wifey, got divorced, and it was sorted. Yes, sometimes I used to say the same thing. You know, um, if you have an AI wife, you have no problems because if she gets a little lippy, you just turn her off. That's the end of that. KJ, how are you doing? Everybody, please welcome KJ down under. She is down under. Thank you, KJ, so much for being here. And now, here she comes, by popular demand, my better half. Here, you want this, Sherry? Yes. Give me a second here. Boomer, hey. Hold on 1 second here. We're playing musical chairs because, hey, how you doing, Slim? Hey, everybody, I want y'all to go by check out Slim Let, especially if you love karaoke. Good man right there. Christina, how are you doing? Give me a second. We're kind of playing musical chairs because I'm gonna scoot this in so that Jen can just come right on in. There we are.
Hi guys.
I'm hoping that everybody's having a great night. Are you? Let me ask you this question also. Have you gotten your Christmas shopping done? I hope you have. Before I get started also, I want to say hello to all our Facebook groups, paranormal groups, that is. Hello to you all. And thank you, Facebook groups, the paranormal groups, for letting us post on your pages. And we really do appreciate the
Thank you, Glenn.
love. Thank you so much. Oh, Glenn, you're so wonderful. He's talking about me. Thank you, Glenn. You are wonderful too, though. You look lovely. But I look lovely. That's better than ugly. Just saying. Christina said, I have done no Christmas shopping, but I also have no money. So I'm just going to bake something to break the to bring for people. Hey, you know
Need
what?
glasses.
You know what? You got the best of both worlds. You really do. Because you have done no Christmas shopping and you have no money. You got the best of both worlds. Let me tell you something though. Christmas is not always about giving. You know, it's like they say, it's better to give and receive. But no, Christmas is about hope and it's about love. That's what Christmas is really about. If you get something or you give something, that's great. But it's not about that. You know, so a lot of people just, it's so commercial, you know, Christmas.
Hey KJ.
It is what it is for us. You know, we give our kids this and all of that, and I do the same for my wife.
Hey,
She does the
dog.
same for me. But Christmas is not really about that. It's about hope and it's about love. That's what Christmas is about. Dolls Dolly, how are you doing? We got video of several drones out here again, 3 weeks in a row.
Oh man, I have to
Oh,
watch that.
we got do you have it up on your channel, Dolly?
Hey David.
How you doing, David? Thank you so much for being here. David Hembre is in the house, so I got to acknowledge him.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much, David, for being here.
Oh, thank you, KJ. We hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas too.
We sure do. We hope you do, all of you. A prayer is always a great gift. Yes, it is, Slim. That's right. You know, a prayer is the best gift you can have. And that's like I tell people, though, at the same time, when you pray, just remember it's, you know, it's like a Tylenol. It's time released. You know, sad to see Alpha Anderson, lead singer of Chic, passed. Yeah, I seen that too. Yes, my condol and I sent my condolences too, to them, to Nile Rodgers, to everybody in the Chic family. Yes, my prayers go out to
Greg
them.
has it on his phone. You're gonna have to send me the video so I can see it. Oh,
Yeah, because you got Jen's number. Yeah, send it to her. Yeah, we'd like to see it. Don't worry, I won't share it
much.
much.
Oh,
I'll let you do that though, dolls. David said, I just want to stop by before I go to bed and work tomorrow. Hey, David, I appreciate you even just coming in for 30 seconds. We appreciate the love. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Christian said, Christmas is about being present, not the presence. That's right. It is. You know, be glad that you are alive to see Christmas because next Christmas is not guaranteed. And then again, it's not guaranteed for all of us. You know, so appreciate the things that you have now, not for the things that you want. You know, just what you have now. Yes, they are, Glenn, iconic band. Yes, I love Chic. You know, and I love Nile Rodgers, the fact that he's still going. You know, look at how Daft Punk had picked him up real quick. You know, and now still people, these young kids today are still gravitating to them. So huge shout out to Nile Rodgers. Nile Rodgers is actually the front man, actually the founder and the lead guitarist for the group Chic. So huge shout out. Yeah, 28 degrees here coming to Texas if it's warm. You know what? It's 68 right now, Slim. It's 68 degrees. Earlier today, it hit what, 75? It was 75 for the high today.
Supposed to be almost in the 80s
Yeah,
all
it's
week.
supposed to be almost in the 80s all week. Yeah. Ugh. So much for having a white Christmas. Boy, I got one. I got my wife. Oh. I'm just saying a white Christmas. Can't say a
This might
black
be
Christmas.
Ghost 13th birthday.
Oh, really?
Some
Happy birthday
Slim,
to your
it's
beagle.
oh dang, 18
Slim,
degrees.
it's 18 today in New
Y'all
York.
can
Yes,
keep
it
that
is.
coldness.
Thank you for helping me last Monday night's roll talk to my brother. Yes, and you know what? We're going to do that again because, like I was saying in the beginning, people were asking me what is the app that I always use when I go out and film because I don't always take my Phasma box. So they was wondering why don't I use that instead? I figured maybe you would like to hear the Phasma box instead of this, but we're going ahead and use the dead wave. I figured why not? Nile is a legend. Yes, he is, and will always be. Greg's Inferno Exploring. How you doing? So, thank you so much for being here. Let me acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged. Thank you so much. Christina said, "Oh my God, that was so funny." Jen's face when she hit him. Somebody screenshot. Mickey G, how are you? The kids are fine. They're in the living room watching us. Well, actually, two of them are watching us in the living room. One's upstairs, listening to music. Uh, Boomer said, 1-3 here? Yee. You're a better person than me, buddy. Scott A, so glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So, would you guys like to have a small spirit box session? As a matter of fact, Scott, let me acknowledge you too.
Acknowledge me.
Would y'all like to have a small spirit box session? And like I said, I'm using my Dead Wave app this time because a lot of people want to know why don't I use that when I do a spirit box. So I said, you know what? Maybe I can do that. Let's see if y'all like that too. And a lot of the answers that we can get with the Dead Wave, you can actually get a little bit quicker if that sounds good. And sometimes I don't really pick up on it a lot. My wife does, and it takes me a minute. It's like, I don't know, I have to let it process for some odd reason. I don't know why. And then I have to wait till I come home and then listen again. And then I can say, oh, it was this. And then there's times I have to slow it down when I'm at home and then speed it up because I have to make sure that that's what they said. What's that?
I was trying to watch the video. My phone's being a jerk.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug this
Ugh.
and I'm gonna plug it into my phone.
Oh.
And can y'all still hear me? Because
There.
okay.
Why you put it in your phone for?
Because I'm gonna use the Dead Wave app. That way they can hear it. So I'm getting ready to start this Dead Wave app, and I just want spirits to know that you cannot, if you're negative, you cannot be here. I only want the positive spirits here. We mean no disrespect to you. We come to you out of love and light. And I emphasize that. And let me turn this speaker up some because I want to make sure that everybody can hear. I might have to have you turn it down some. Okay, are we ready? I hope so, because let's get it on. Let's get it started. Let me do this first.
Interesting.
And here we go.
So,
Is there anybody here with us? Yeah.
Can you hear?
Can Can you guys hear this? Who's here with us? There's my dog.
Barely.
Barely. So let me see if I can turn this up some more. Let's turn it all the way up. Roger, Roger, are you here? This is David's brother. Your brother's here. Yeah. What is your name? Who is it that's coming through? COVID's got me. He says something's got him busy. I want David Hembree's brother to come through. Can you come through for me? Yes. Hello, James T. What is your name? Which Roger is this? Is this David's brother? Or are you Roger Troutman?
Yeah.
Hello, James T. What message do you have to a loved one? What? Is there a message you have? Okay, I'm gonna take the reverb off. What? How you doing, Janie? How you doing, Janie? Thank you so much for being here. Miss Donna Cantors, thank you so much for being here. Spirits, do you like it better with the reverb off, or you want me to turn the reverb back on? Reverb? Reverb?
Stop.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and turn the reverb back on. If you feel better that way. Okay, let me know how you like that, Spirit.
And burn.
You like that better? Hi, Danny. How you doing, Danny? Let me acknowledge you. Actually, I'm gonna wait to do that. So now, which one do y'all want to hear better? Do you want the Phasma box, or do you want me to continue with the dead wave? And then in the meantime, Spirits, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. You want me to continue with this, or you want me to use the Phasma box? Let's see what the spirits have to say.
Speed.
How you doing, Eva? So, spirits, would you like the Phasma box better? Yes or no? Certainly. Yes. Okay, I'll switch over to the Phasma box. Is that better? Okay. You heard that? Okay, so spirits want me to switch over to Phasma box. I don't know why they don't like dead wave. So I'm gonna switch over. So I'm gonna mute this. There. So what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna come over to the Phasma box. And I know you're still here, spirits. So we're gonna switch, like you said, the other ones. Yeah, you know what? Because people want to know why I don't use this one. That's one of the reasons why I like the Phasma box. Because like when I use my dead wave, it kind of gives Jen a headache. So I'm not the only thing that gives her a headache. So we are going to switch over to this. Let me just get this.
Yep, that's why I had to leave, because I already have a migraine and that was not helping at all.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we are going to start with the Phasma box. I don't know the difference between the two. You're gonna learn tonight the difference between the two. They are really different.
Very.
They're very different. Because this is my dead wave, which is on my app. And this is the one I take with me when I'm out doing the cemeteries. So, but this bothers Jen now. When we're outside, though, it don't bother us as much because we're outside. You know, it's just that when you're enclosed in a room and you're hearing the reverb is what bothers Jen. Kind of like the necrophonic, you know, it just bothers Jen. So we're gonna start with this. Now, spirits, I know you're still here. I just want to remind you that I only want the negative, no, not the negative. I only want the positive spirits here.
Please not the negative.
Yeah, I got enough negative in this house as it is. So come to y'all love of light, and I want to give you the floor
Around.
because the floor is yours.
Much love to you, Janie.
Eva, how are you doing? I'm hoping that you're having a great night, and thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. And before anybody go, I want y'all to put y'all's channels
In our
in our
I think people are kind of.
Hey, spirits, you like this better? You like talking?
I think it's.
I guess. So who's here with us?
I'm Jess.
Hey, Tex, how are you doing? You know what, Tex? I'm going to ask you a question. Spirits, I'm going to have to pause you for 1 second because I need to ask Tex. If you don't mind, Spirits, I'm coming right back to you. Tex, I got a question for you. Was it this week that I was supposed to have you come up? Because I flame forgot. I told Jen today. Was it today? Listen, I have to go to bed. Yeah, I know you do because it's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning where you are, Glenn. Hey, everybody, huge shout out to Glenn Pierce. He's here from the UK. Love you, Glenn. You know that, bro. God bless you. I'm good. Shoot me a link and I'll come up. You know what? We're gonna do that because I want to have a nice little conversation with Glenn. Would y'all like to have a conversation
Text
with
you?
Glenn? Text. I meant text. Let me shoot him a line because I was today. I don't know why I was thinking it was last week or next week. Um, he said, I think so. So yeah. Good night, everyone. We love y'all. Hey, we love you too, David. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, maybe next time when we do a spirit box session, Dave, that your brother will come through for us again. I hope. You know, God bless you, man. We love you. So let me
Good night, Glenn.
have a great night, Glenn. We love you.
Hi, Irish.
Irish Whiskey, how are you doing, sir?
Where are you going? All the way over to.
Oops.
Where are you?
Back here.
Participants, a little arrow.
there.
No.
Right there.
There.
Okay.
You forget
So
every time.
I forget every time. So oops, let me get that. And then let me go here. I believe I have text. I'm hoping I got them. Oh, wait a minute. Do I? Let's find out.
Right there.
Okay. So let's go here.
Oh, no.
And go there. And
What's
I'm going
that?
to do this. Okay. There. Okay, text. I sent you through your messenger. And now I've subscribed to you too on Facebook. I am so sorry, everybody. I've been wanting to talk to Tex for a minute. And
Who is that in the red behind you? That's my daughter.
that's our daughter Des. And she had just left. She went home. Otherwise, I could have got y'all to meet her. But she had to go home. She had a lot of stuff to do. She had just got off work and decided to stop by and say hello. So Boomer D said it's 9:30 here. Eva says 9:30 here. So let me see, Eva. So
8:30.
wow, Eva, are you? Because we're in San Antonio, and it's only 8:30 here. So Eva and Boomer must be around. They might be in the same location. Lou Rock, how are you doing, sir?
Email it to him, he said.
Email it. Okay, because I sent it to your I sent it through your
Message.
messenger.
He said email.
And Lou Rock.
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
I just want to acknowledge you, Lou Rock. Let you know I see that you're there. I don't monitor my Facebook. Can you email it? Okay, let me see. How can I email? I've never done that.
Just put it in the chat.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this. There. There you go. I thought I'd just do it that way. Scott says he's in Florida, 9:31. Same time zone. James said, I'm in Florida and it's 9:31 p.m. Boomer's in Elmira because Boomer is in New York, or yeah, New York, right? Elmira, New York, I believe. And Colleen is here. How you doing, Colleen? I'm sorry, I did not notice you was here, so let me acknowledge you too.
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
I just want to acknowledge anybody else that I missed. That's just my way of letting you know I see you out there. I see you. And I stopped the Spirit Box session for a second because I actually have a special guest that I am bringing up here right now. And I love this man. And you will too, especially if you don't know who he is. And yes, this is not his first time here, but just in case you've never seen him before or don't know who he
Hi,
is,
Tex.
this is Tex. How are you doing, Tex?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful now. I'm just so forgetful because I forgot to write it down. And I figured, well, it's probably a couple weeks anyway. And me and Jen was driving today, and I said, Jen,
I told him.
when
Hey,
did,
listen.
right? I was like, when am I supposed to have a text come up? And she was like, I think it's today. I said, you sure? Because I think it's next week. And she kept telling me, and lo and behold, it was today. That's old timers disease is hitting me.
Hey, I hear you, brother. Me too.
Man, Tex, I wanted to ask you first of all, how did you get started? You know, and everybody, again, I want to introduce you to Tex from Porch and love this man. And I want to ask him, I've always wanted to ask him, how did you get started? And if, especially if you guys are into cryptids and Bigfoot. This is a man I love talking to.
Thank you, brother. You're humbling me a lot here. um, it's of course I had my first cryptid experience when I was 16 when I saw the Dogman. I had the Dogman account,
Right.
and but I've always it's like because my family's originally from Texarkana, so I grew up knowing about the Falcon monster and you know going out and hunting him with my little cousins and all that kind of stuff. And so I was always aware of that stuff, and I've always been interested in weird stuff and monsters and everything else. But I had I guess kind of in the back of your mind, you don't really think that they're, I don't know, you just don't think about it as a little kid, I guess. I didn't. And then I had my experience when I was 16 with the dog man. And then I just kind of pushed that out of the way because I couldn't talk to anybody about it, you know. Um, I mean, back then it wasn't even called Dogman. I didn't know what to call it. I just called it a werewolf.
Right.
Well, then leapfrog to 8 years ago, and I decided to, go public and share my story on Dogman Diaries with Danielle Stedman, which I just recently reconnected with, by the way. Um, so if you want to hear the first time that I ever told my story publicly, that link is over on the community page. You can go listen to that after this show.
We will do that.
After this show, and then after my show tonight, you can go listen to it.
Because we're going to come there as soon as we're done here and you get started, we're coming over.
Well, why don't we have y'all on tonight?
We can do that. Yeah.
Y'all can be on. Y'all can be on with me and Monica.
That sounds great. And Monica was wonderful too.
Oh, yeah.
When she came up last week.
She's awesome.
She is
Yeah,
awesome.
she's pretty awesome.
Yes, she is. And I thank you so much. So you was telling me also you had a personal experience with Bigfoot.
Oh, I've had a few. Yeah.
Can you tell us about those?
Well, like I said, I went public with the Dogman thing, and then I ended up helping Danielle on her channel doing some voice work and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I kind of got into doing the whole YouTube thing. And then I got in touch with this other old boy, and he said, "Well, you ought to come out to my research area." So I went out there, and first time I'd ever been out there, first time I ever been Bigfoot hunting, if you want to call it that.
Mhm.
8:30 in the morning, we're getting out of my truck. We're parked on the edge of a hayfield. I'm looking through a thin tree line into a wheat field, and this critter pops up out of the middle of the wheat field. Looks like he's fixing to cross the street, looking both ways, and then takes off running down into the river bottoms. And I saw him from the waist up in the wheat till he hit the fire break, and I saw him for a few steps head to toe. He was about 50 yards away. And that was my first Bigfoot sighting was a daylight sighting at 8:30 in the morning, 50 yards away.
Wow.
And from that point on, I was hooked. You know, um, I started going out, and you know, life happens. He doesn't investigate out there anymore, and I kept going.
Mhm.
So, and that's when I started doing my own thing, and here I am.
But
But
you know, because I love your channel, and your channel, you talk about everything. You go from
yeah,
Bigfoot
we do.
cryptids to the paranormal, and that's one of the things I love. One of the things I love about your channel, you cover everything. So
Well, I appreciate that.
when did you start your channel?
Was it 2016, 2017, something like that? Maybe in 2018. My own channel, yeah.
Because you have got a really big following that I've noticed. It might not show it on the subscriber thing, but believe me, there's a lot of people that I've talked to that know you already. Uh,
Well, I appreciate that.
I want to say have a good night to, I believe, was it Eva?
Janie.
Or J&E, to have a great night. Thank you for coming in. Love you. Please come back, and we'll share the love. And Megan Fox, welcome to the channel. And our guest today is Tex from Tex Front Porch. And if anybody out there got a question for Tex, please put it in the comments. We will read whatever your question is. You know, one of the things I always tell people is to have an open mind, because I didn't believe in ghosts or anything like that until I had a personal experience. You know,
Yep.
so I tell people have an open mind. You know, and I've always said there's something out there that just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there, because there's too
Yeah.
many
Oh, Eva said
that have
goodnight too,
seen
that's
it.
why.
Huh?
Eva did say goodnight too.
Oh, have a great night, Eva. Thank you so much for being here. And we love you. We love you all. Smoky Mountain Wanderer, thank you so much for being here. So even though you had that experience, the thing is that you still keep it going. And the fact that now you are the hunter.
Well,
I
the
won't
thing
say,
about it is,
I'll take that away. You're not a hunter, but you're curious.
well, you know what, and I think I struggle with the term researcher. I really do,
Mhm.
because that implies that you're out there and you're gathering all this data and you're following all these, all this kind of stuff. And we do on occasion. I mean, we try to pick up as much data, but I'm not one of those people that takes field notes and all this kind of stuff and everything. I just kind of go out there. I guess the folks on my other on the team are more the scalpel kind of thing. I'm the hammer,
Right.
if you want to put it that way. Um, because I just go. I don't document a whole lot of stuff. I don't film a whole lot.
Right.
Um, it's just I go for the experience, which I guess kind of it's counter. I guess it's kind of counter um, productive, because I mean I do bring evidence back, but my thing is I'm just out there for the experience, you know. I mean,
It's a
I
joke.
love being around these creatures.
Right.
I love being around the paranormal. I've ran into both, and that's something we found out early on was, and I wasn't probably the first one to do it for sure, but I
Mhm.
was among the first to actually bring a paranormal team out to go bigfooting with me.
Right.
Um, because it allowed us, we were running across some really weird stuff, and it gave us more tools in the belt, you know, to use. And um the the evidence that we started getting and the experiences that we started having were just off the charts.
Right.
And I mean, you know, we've managed to pull out some of the probably the best physical evidence as far as Sasquatch goes out of the field in years, as far as I'm concerned. Um, I'll put it this way: we've got enough evidence where I could convict him in court if I had to.
Regina has a question.
Um,
She
yeah,
asked, she asked,
Text, how long have you seen a spirit? Have you seen spirits?
yeah, she wanted to know, have you seen spirits?
How long have you
Oh,
seen?
how long have you seen spirits?
you know, that that's a really good question because I was talking to Monica, and Monica's really she's if you want to talk about fae and spirits and stuff, she's one of the people you really want to talk to. And
Hmm.
I had as a little kid, again up in Texarkana, I had an experience out in the woods, and I didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it was. There's like 5 or 6 of me and my little cousins, and we were out there in the woods, and we started seeing these flashes of white and then black and then white and then black, and there were just dozens of these things. And we made a game out of it. I saw a white one. Oh, I saw a black one over here, type thing. We didn't, I mean, it never crossed our mind to be scared. It never crossed our mind. We didn't even really wonder what it was. I think if I remember right, I think we called them ghosts, but I don't know what they were.
Hmm.
Um, they could have been the Fae. I don't know. Um, so that may have been my first spirits,
Paranormal, yeah.
experience. But the one hmm, the one that really, I mean, I consider my first one was we lived in a house, and it was a brand new house in a brand new neighborhood. We were the first owners.
Mhm.
And we started hearing stuff, a little pitter patter across the floor, on the upstairs and everything. And then one time, my wife had heard her name called, and she didn't believe in ghosts or nothing like that until all this happened. And I remember one night we were laying, or she was laying on the couch, and I was sitting on the end of the couch, and she had her head in my lap, and we watched TV. But
Mhm.
she kind of faded off to sleep. And then she raised up and she goes, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm right here." And it scared the living daylights out of her. She thought she saw me walking up the stairs, going up the game room.
Wow.
So things go on, and I'm working nights, and I'm at home by myself, and I was cooking me some lunch, and I was standing in the kitchen. And if you're standing at the stove and you look out to your right, it looks out on the fireplace in the den.
Mhm.
And I caught something on the corner of my eye, and I looked over, and there was this apparition, and I saw him as clear as I'm seeing y'all two right now, of a guy with a broad brim hat, long saddle coat, and a rifle crooked over his arm. He had one leg kicked up on the edge of my fireplace, just leaning against the wall.
Mhm.
And I did a double take, and I just watched him for a few seconds, and then he just kind of faded out, and
Wow.
he was gone. Well, Then a little while later, I don't remember how long it was, but we would have the occasional cabinet door open and that type of thing, but nothing bad and we didn't have any real bad feelings. We had a room upstairs. It was the extra bedroom that nobody but me felt good in. Everybody else was kind of creeped out by it for some reason. I slept like a baby. It didn't bother me at all. Um, but then the the coup de grace of this whole thing was, how when you get little kids, they'll crawl in bed with you, and inevitably you get feet in your back because they turn somersaults in bed, right?
Right.
So, I'm getting feet in my back, and I wake up, and I sit up on the edge of the bed, and I turn around, kind of look behind me, and it's my wife, the dog, and my youngest daughter, right? And my
Right.
youngest daughter was covered all the way up to here. All you could see was the top of her head. And I kind of looked around and said, okay, I see how this is going to be, right? So I got up and I patted my daughter on the head. That's very important.
Right.
Patted my daughter on top of the head. I got up and I walked upstairs. I turned the hallway light on and she's laying in her bed. I
Whoa.
went, hmm. And I
Really?
remember going, yeah. And I remember going, okay. So I turned the light back off, went downstairs and walked back in my bedroom, and it was just my wife and the dog in the bed.
Wow.
That would creep either.
Um,
You have a couple questions.
James, the fam is here. James, thank you so much for being here. Hey, we love you. If you guys don't have James the Fam channel, James, if you're still here, can you please put your link into your channel? And
Acknowledge me.
I am acknowledging the fact that I know that you're here. I'm sorry. I get when I talk to someone, I really get caught up in the moment, and I do apologize. I do have another question for you from Irish Whiskey, and he asked, "Do you think Bigfoot is a supernatural creature or just a regular animal?" Kind of like my wife. Oh, no, I'm joking.
um, you know, I think they're a flesh and blood creature. Okay. And I think what the deal is, there's a lot of different phenomenon that people are running into out in the woods. I've done it. I don't think there's a quote unquote researcher out there worth their salt that can say that they haven't ran into something out in the woods that they can't explain. Okay. Um, it appears in many cases that these beings are animals. I think personally, what I think is somewhere down the family tree, we went left and they went right. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Um, they are very, very good at what they do. They're I've heard people describe them as ninjas of the forest, and they are very much that.
I can believe that.
Um, and we would be too if this was something that we did every day in our life, dependent on it. We would know how to and have the tools to move through different terrain and live off the land like they do. But we've lost that down through the years
Right.
because we're technology based.
Right. Yes,
But
very much so.
I think what it is, and people, talk about the orbs, and I've seen orbs too. We've got one on film that is just it's just insane. I have no explanation for it, but there's other phenomenon that seem to either these either is attracted to these creatures or they're attracted to the other phenomenon. I don't know which way it goes.
Right.
Um, I have dear friends that I respect the hell out of that um, I hate to say claim because it's a phenomenon that happens to them for sure, but they communicate with these beings
Hmm.
through mind speak. Something's going on there. Don't know what it is. Something's going on. Just because I haven't had the experience doesn't mean it didn't happen,
Right,
right?
right.
And but I've said this. This is a horse I have. This is a dead horse I have really beat to dust. That I'm more concerned about that than I am anything else because the I'm just not convinced it's Bigfoot they're talking to
Right.
because paranormal 101, you know it, I know it. Spirits are going to lie to you.
That's right.
Okay. They know our minds. They're going to pretend to be children. They're going to pretend to be loved ones. They're going to pretend to be anything that we want to communicate with. Why wouldn't they? If you're out there trying to find a Bigfoot and you really want to communicate with these creatures, or you really want to connect with them, why wouldn't they do that? You know.
Point.
And my concern is when you start communicating mentally with something, you're letting it in.
I
That's an invitation. And that's my concern. Is it's something that's not Bigfoot that doesn't necessarily have our best interest at heart, trying to get its foot in the door.
right.
You know
Hmm.
that's how I feel about that. You know, I mean, I don't think there. A lot of people talk about seeing a Bigfoot and then seeing a UFO, or seeing a UFO and then seeing a Bigfoot.
Hmm.
I've even heard reports of Bigfoot walking off a UFO. You know.
Hmm.
Um, But my answer to that, and I'm not saying it's right, but my answer is if they abduct us, why and mutilate cattle and everything else, why wouldn't they abduct these creatures?
Very true. Very true. Christina has a question for you. She says, text, I do crossovers. I popped in on your chat last Sunday before I did my crossover, and I put on a different app to see if anyone would interact, and I got a picture of Bigfoot. Knew he came from you. That's crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. And Megan, it's good to see you too. Thank you so much, Megan Fox, for being here.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged. I'm looking to see if there was anybody that I have missed. I'm scrolling, so everybody, please bear with me. Irish Whiskey said, okay, he's got another question. Um, do you think Bigfoot is supernatural interdimensional creature or just a regular earthly animal? I think that's
I
the
think it's
question.
a I,
Did he answer that before? I think.
well, kind of, but not really. Um, I don't think they're interdimensional no more than we are. I know sometimes if the vibrations are right or whatever, maybe we take a peek at the other side. Um, Maybe it's the same with them.
Right.
So, but I think they're just as flesh and blood as we are, and they're as interdimensional as you and me. I mean, I'll put it that way. That's the only way I know to answer it.
Right. And Lou Rock said animal in my book. And Sonny Brooks, thank you so much for being here, Sonny.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged in Fallen Angel.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much. Um, I want to text up here because see, he's teaching me more and more about, cryptids. That's why I go on this show a lot because, like I always say, you should always have an open mind because there's something out there we might not see it, but others have, whether it be Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, my mother-in-law. I mean, there's something out there and we can't explain it. I can't explain your mom, but we just can't explain it. But on the real, just because we haven't seen it, and that even goes with the paranormal. Sometimes, and I made this question before. When we do spirit box sessions, are we talking to spirits or could it be alien-like? You
Yeah.
know, so just something to think about.
Well, that's just it, and that's what we really have to be careful of is that, I mean, if we're completely honest, and it's hard to be honest with yourself a lot
Mm-hmm.
because the answer that you come up with may scare you. But if we're completely honest with ourselves, we don't know what we're dealing with. We may believe we know what we're dealing with, but factually, we do not. I don't think we absolutely know what we're dealing with.
Right. And that I can agree with because even with the paranormal, and I see people that, like I tell people, I don't lie to anybody and say we're paranormal investigators because we're not. I'm a paranormal enthusiast, just like my wife. You know, if we was invited to go to one, we would not turn it down. But that doesn't make me
Right.
an investigator. I leave that for the hardcore people that actually go out and do that. You know, so I will never call myself something that I'm not. You know, I don't want to mislead anybody. And they'll say, "Hey, Eddie and Jen, hey, those are paranormal investigators." No, that's what we're called, Eddie and Jen, the vlogs and then some. We just vlog. We love to talk to our loved ones or your loved ones or anybody that's out there that's deceased. We try to give them a voice. That's all we try to do. Just because we talk to them, I don't want to see them, personally. I mean, but I just want to give people closure. That's why I do it because when my wife passed away, I never got it, so
Right.
it gave me closure and then to help someone else. And I don't charge nobody for that or nothing. It's free. If they come through,
Yeah.
God bless you and them. But if they don't, it's because you got to remember spirits were people at one time or place. They don't know us. So it'd be like walk up to a stranger and say, "Hey, what's your name?" They don't know me from Jack. So
Right.
spirits the same way. If they don't know you, they're not going to come to you. But if you're there and you say, "Hey, mom, can you come through for him?" and they see that you're there, well, then they might speak to me because you're there. And that's why I tell a lot of people, just because you called on the spirits doesn't mean they're going to come through because they don't know you. They were people at one time or place. So the same thing. If they were nice in life, they're going to be nice in death. If they were mean and nasty in life, they're going to be mean and nasty in death. They don't change. So
Yeah.
if I'm calling upon a spirit to talk to us, 9 times out of 10 they're not, but then there's that one small percentage that they actually do come through, but that's because they're curious as to why we calling them, you know and so that's
Yep.
what we do. We don't do it to mess with nobody. We don't do it to mess with the spirits. We let them know we're not messing with them. Even though we like to have fun with them, we tell a joke or something like that because and we do that because, like I said, there were people at one time or place. So you treat them as such, but you treat the spirits with the utmost respect, and that's what we do. So that's why I do
Well,
it.
well, and I think that's also where we have to be careful
Yes, yes.
because when you're asking to communicate with something, that's an invitation. And I believe there is a legality, a unwritten, if you want to call it contract,
Hmm.
that, you know, they can, they may be able to influence stuff around you, but to truly get to be able to interact and there has to be some kind of invitations. What's scary is you may not even know that you've done it.
Hmm.
Um, take the fae for example. If you believe in the gnomes and the brownies and fairies and all that kind of stuff, a lot of people they say just putting a welcome mat outside your front door is an invitation for them. That's how they view it.
Hmm.
So we really have to be careful with what we do with the spirit boxes and everything. I know one time we were up in Brown Springs Cemetery and we were doing a spirit box deal, and that was a crazy night. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
We had so much stuff going on simultaneously with two groups and it was different things. Um, I might as well go ahead and tell the story.
Right.
So there was five of us that went up there. It was Amy and Laney was with me when this happened. And then I haven't seen Pops in the chat. I don't know if he's going to show up tonight or not. Gary Spock Sr. and his son were up there. Well, I was with Amy and Laney, and Pops and Junior were about 40, 40 feet away from us, 50 feet away from us. And now you have to remember, this all was happening at the same time. Okay. Me, Amy, and Laney, I had this feeling like I've never had before. It was like if you've ever lifted weights and you do a hard arm workout and you get flushed and your arms kind of get heavy and you get that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was feeling. And I'm like, I'm talking to Amy and Laney, and they're trying to talk me through it because this was early in the game for paranormal research for me. I had no idea what was going on. And they said, well, it sounds like something's trying to attach itself to you. And all I did was get off me, and it quit. you know? But because Lainey was getting her spidey sense was going off. She's very sensitive, and she gets a pain in the back of her neck when something's around like that. So this was that was happening. Well, then we were running a spirit box, and we get 3 words. Now, Amy's husband, Cody, was down at the bottom of the cemetery, which is about 100 yards away, parked in their truck next to my truck. He was down there by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So we get 3 words across this spirit box thing, and it was Solo Beast Gracie or Grace, Solo Beast Grace. And what was odd about that was earlier that evening back in camp, Junior had, because if you haven't seen Cody's a monster. He's a big dude, and Junior remarked, "Damn, Cody's a beast, right?"
Right.
Okay, so Cody's down there by himself. He gets called a beast earlier in the evening. Okay, but the kicker was the word grace. Grace is the name of my truck.
Mm-hmm.
So we get 3 words that are very specific to us. About that time, Amy's got this big like 6x9 LED, brighter than the sun light that she uses, and it's got a dial on it that you can dial the intensity, the brightness up and down. And I'm wearing a headlamp. Her light and my headlamp go off at the same time, completely off. I had to physically turn my headlamp back on. And when she turned her light back on, the intensity dial was reversed. If she turned it up, it went down, and vice versa. So that was weird. Now, at the same time this is going on, the guys next to us were seeing these cat-like entities that were up in the trees, and they would jump down out of the trees, and they were coming towards them on all 4s, and then they would get up on 2 legs and walk towards them. It got that situation was very intense to the point to where Pops had drawn his pistol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they hit him with a spotlight, these entities disappeared. They turned the light back off and they'd be right back where they were. So when this all started happening, everybody decided it was time to go back down, back out. And when we started to back out, we started hearing something circling us in the trees. And then we were coming down. We walked down the trail out of the cemetery, and then we had a big cat jump across the road. We saw that, and we found a big cat track out in the road. So that was a very, very crazy night.
That is
Uh,
great.
yeah, and I'm talking all this happened within a couple hours. you know, so it was very intense. Um, but that it's there's been, and we've gotten so much odd stuff happen in that cemetery. I've had multiple experiences. I've caught disembodied voices. I was going up there by myself. I think it was the first time. Yeah, it was. It was the first time I was going to do a solo trip up there by myself at night. It was about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I drove down there, and I was going to I got out of my truck, and I could hear footfalls in the woods all around me. And then I heard a couple of whoops over to my right, and I just felt like I was surrounded. And I thought, well, maybe this wasn't the best idea that I ever had. So I get back in my truck, and I didn't have any cell service at that time down there.
Mm-hmm.
And all I had was a little bitty pin light, the one with the bulb on the end. I mean, it wasn't bright at all, and a pocket knife. That's all, and my phone with no service. That's all I had with me. So I get back in my truck. I drive up to where I got service. I make a couple of phone calls, tell people what's going on, and they say, "You don't need to do that." I said, "Well, I've already said I was going to do this. I need to do it." So I packed up and I went back down, and it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was as intense as it was, so I went ahead with the trip. So I'm walking up. I'm walking up the trail, and you hear me on audio. I got it on audio. It's on the channel somewhere. But you hear me on audio go, oh, I heard a growl over here to my left. I had a little purr to it. And then a little bit later, you hear a voice that's in my mic that it's a female voice, and it goes, come on. And it's like, come on, you know? And so I get up to the top of the cemetery, and I'm standing at the very top of the cemetery, and I'm looking around my little pin light, and I look back over my left shoulder into the trees, and I catch this eye shine. And this eye shine was about big as round as silver dollars, and it's about 8 inches apart. And it's about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. And I'm thinking, this is awesome. I'm looking at a Bigfoot. I'm really excited. Well, then I'm sitting there and it starts playing peekaboo with me behind a tree, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then it starts to stand up and kind of move forward. Like it stood up and moved forward at the same time type thing. And when it got about my height, I said, well, I think I'll go back down because I'm up here by myself, got nothing but a pocket knife. And so I walked back down. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and me and Amy and Laney and Cody are out there again, and our friend Bob,
Mhm.
and we pull up to the bottom of the cemetery. They wanted to go to the cemetery, so we pull up to the bottom of the cemetery, and we're surrounded by 5 cop cars.
Wow.
It's
You know
three
what?
sheriff's dep- three sheriff's deputies and 2 tribal police, right?
Mhm.
So we gingerly get out of the truck, and I start talking to these guys, and one of the tribal police, he kind of took the lead on everything. He said, "What y'all doing out here?" And I kind of looked at him with, and grinned. And he goes, "Are y'all out here Bigfoot hunting?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Well," I said, "Yeah." I said, "We're kind of the Bigfoot guys, and that's a paranormal group over there. We're going to a cemetery." Well, what we didn't know, and the whole reason they were out there, and the whole reason they surrounded us like that, they had gotten a report of like 5 to 7 women that were all dressed in black, and they were out there somewhere sacrificing chickens.
Mhm.
So they were out looking for them. Well, we weren't them.
Right.
But anyway, I got to talking to these guys, and this doesn't happen very often, but they told me that 2 of their officers had Bigfoot sightings right there in that area where we were. And that the officer that I was talking to, he had had a paranormal experience up there in the cemetery when he was younger.
Mhm.
Well, they also told us, now everybody's, I'm sure, heard of the Tiger King, right?
Yes.
His first outfit that he had was about 40 miles away from my research area. Okay. When he got shut down and the other folks took over, they closed it and they moved it to within about 2 miles of where I researched. When they got shut down, they had 17 cats, big cats, go unaccounted for.
Mhm.
Okay. And they said, we've had tiger sightings. No, you're okay. We got family over. My wife came in and stole the air mattress and backed into the door frame.
Oh, she
Um,
could have came on the camera if she wanted to. Just to say.
oh no, she does not do cameras. She's behind the camera. She won't get in front of it. But they said, well, we've had reported tiger sightings, so we encourage everybody to carry sidearm down here. This blew our minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jason McLean, which is an integral part of our team. He's the theologian of the bunch, and um, he's he's convinced that night a few years back that when I saw that big eye shine and everything, it was probably a tiger, not a big, because I heard the growl with the purr and everything like that. So, but yeah, we've had so many encounters, like that, and the orb that we saw, Brandy, y'all know Brandy from my channel,
Mm-hmm.
with the blondes and the booze.
Mm-hmm.
She had come down and went out to the field with us out in Brown Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was four of us. It was me, Nicholas, Brandy, and a friend of hers, Holly. And we're up in the cemetery. First things first, when we get up in the cemetery, we get up there and we're walking back into the cemetery. And everybody's in front of me and they walk by and I'm look down and I see this thing and I'm like, what is this? And they all turn around, we start looking at it. It's a candle, one of those tall, slender glass candles.
Mm-hmm.
It had burned completely up. There was absolutely nothing left. It's something that looked like there was that had been burnt in the inside of the bottom of the candle. And beside the candle, there was pictures of two people, modern pictures of two people.
Oh, wow.
And this is an old cemetery. The youngest death date in this thing's 1924. So, but these look like somebody had pulled these pictures off of Facebook or something
Mm-hmm.
and done some kind of mojo, hojo,
Yeah.
whatever it was,
Craft.
hinky kind of stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we see that, we walk through the cemetery, we're coming back out, and I can't remember what the sequence was here.
Irish Whiskey, have a good night. Thank you, sir, for being here. We
Thank
love
you,
you.
Irish. So we, I think the Bigfoot sighting happened first. We're all standing there. We're just about to walk back out of the cemetery, and we're all kind of watching things. Now, Nick and Holly heard something over, and they're facing this way. We're all back to back, and they're facing this way, and me and Brandy are looking towards the back of the cemetery. And they heard something over here. But me and Brandy watched this Bigfoot, and we had plenty of moon. He was every bit of 8 feet tall, and about, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 yards away from us, maybe walk. And we watched him for probably a good 30, 45 seconds, just walk through the trees. And I mean, it's so, if you ever get the chance to watch these things move, one way you can distinguish if on film,
Mm-hmm.
on these, if somebody puts out oh, I got video of a Bigfoot, watch them walk because these things move like a dancer. They do not, their head does not bob. I don't care what kind of terrain they're in. They're so good at navigating stuff or negotiating obstacles and everything. Their head doesn't bob. And that's how they move. So they're just so smooth and graceful. But so we're watching this thing and we're like, and I'm like, do you see that? She goes, oh my gosh, yes. And that was her first Bigfoot sighting. So that was awesome. So then after that, and we're all kind of talking about what's going on, and Nick's got a thermal. And he's looking through the thermal. He goes, "What is that?" There's this thing, and I don't know what else to call it, but an orb. We can't see it with our naked eye. We can only see it on thermal. We've got this on film, and it's about the size of a cantaloupe, or something like that.
Mhm.
Maybe a softball, but it's hovering about 12 inches off the ground. Okay. And
Wow.
it's undulating. It's a heat source. It's a heat signature, and it's all solid black. It's just very, very hot,
Mhm.
and it's undulating like the closest thing we came to compare it to was a bubble in a lava lamp. Okay.
Right.
So we're sitting there and we're watching this thing for minutes. I mean, we're passing the thermal back and forth, all four of us watching this thing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, let's see what happens when I walk towards it. So I take off and I walk towards it. Now this thing moves away from me and keeps a certain distance away from me. So when I stop and I start moving back towards the group, it moves with me and keeps the same distance. It moves with intelligence. And so when I got back to the group and everything, and they were filming all this, but unfortunately, my that whole group sucked as cameraman that night. But um, when I stopped and we're sitting there and we're watching it, it just slowly cooled off and cooled off and cooled off and cooled off till it disappeared.
Wow.
And then, so we're walking back. We go, okay, well, we're going to head back down to the trucks. And we're walking down the trail to go to the trucks. And there's a little side trail that cuts off of the path. And we hear some noise back up in that trail, and Nick and Holly had the front, and then Brandy was about, I don't know, 5 yards behind them, and I'm about 5 or 10 yards behind Brandy, because I have to move real slow going down a hill, especially because I have a bad knee and it has no
Right.
stabilization. So I had to pick my way down. But they start hearing this racket off up in the side trail, and here comes this freaking and here comes this freaking armadillo. Just, I mean, hauling butt, and almost runs right into Nick and Holly. Didn't even realize they were there. I didn't care. And he did a power slide and took off down the trail. And I'm laughing because they're all freaking out, thinking it's something big and monster is going to come out of the bush, and it's a freaking armadillo. I call them squatchadillos because they fool a lot of people. But as soon as that happens, then something big tears off the other direction. Something and breaking branches the whole 9 yards. Something was chasing that armadillo. And he didn't care that we were there. He was worried about what was behind him.
Right.
Um, but I'm laughing the whole time because watching them react was just great. But I mean, it scared them pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I've had this stuff happen to me so much down there that they're not going to hurt you. If folks, excuse me, if you've been camping in any semi-remote area, really like a state park or national park or whatever, odds are you've had these things looking at you. You just didn't know it, you know. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, folks. Things happen. They should be respected as any apex predator should be.
Right. Because
Okay.
that makes me think though, because we were homeless at one time and we lived in a campground.
Well, I
Hmm.
raised my kids camping their whole life, so that's just something I was raised upon, So,
Right.
And Smoking Joe, thank you so much for being here. Just wanted to let you know that we see you, Smoking Joe. And again, this is our wonderful guest tonight, Text Front Porch. His link will be in the description box later tonight. If you don't see it in the chat, you will see it in the description box. I'll put it down there. And I want you guys to go by, check him out. Check out his show. And it's not just him. There's a whole list of people that's on his show, and you got to go by check it out. And his show is everything. If you
Intriguing.
want to talk about UFOs, you want to talk about Bigfoot, you want to talk about cryptids, you want to talk about the paranormal, he's got it in a bag of chips. Believe me.
Yeah, we even do true crime.
Yeah, they were talking
Yeah, and
about
that's I was just thinking about that. Yeah, you even do true crime now.
Yep.
So yeah, go by check him out, man. Um, I'm trying to think of what else I want to say something else to I asked you
Well,
something.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I've got to hook you up with Danielle
That sounds great.
because she is a fascinating person. She really is. If you haven't checked out her channel, it's Tea Time with Danielle Diva. So
Wait
go
a
over and check that out because she's getting her channel up and running.
I think
So I'd appreciate
she has
y'all going over there and saying hi.
she has the accent, right?
Oh yeah, she's from originally from Romania. Yeah.
That's what it
I
is.
knew
Romania.
it.
Yes.
I knew
Jen
it.
called it. She said, I think she's from Romania.
I love her
Yeah.
accent.
Jen loves it. Yeah, we've been on her. Well, we didn't go on her channel, but we were there. We always go on when she's on. And
Yeah,
every now
she
and then we'll text, but we don't expect to get anything back. Nobody knows who we are, but we do text and say hi to her. We love her channel. Jen loves her accent.
Well, I'll tell you what, she is probably the sweetest soul that you'll ever run across. And um she's she's a psychic medium. She is spooky good. Oh my gosh.
We gotta get her on here.
She
Yeah.
yeah, she's something else.
Wow.
But she is the woman speaks four languages. Um she, she's a direct descendant. She's an actual duchess.
Wow.
And she's direct descendant of Vlad the Impaler.
Really? The
Yep,
vampire.
yep. He was her great uncle.
Ooh. And you know what's funny is I'm a descendant of the late Robert Johnson.
I remember that.
I sure am. He was my great grandfather.
That's and you know, and that's a crazy story. I mean, do you think? I'm sorry, Mickey G. Is she going to be at the conference? Yes, she will be at our conference that we're having in September, and she will be doing readings. Me and her will be sitting at the table. We'll have our book. We got a book coming out. Should be out this month, I think. Um, it's my first book. It's she's got a couple of books out, but it's my first book. It's our true crime book.
Mhm.
But yeah, she will be at the conference. Getting back to that,
To Robert Johnson.
yeah, Robert Johnson, Eddie. Do you think he made the deal, or what do you think?
You know, it's hard for me to believe. I don't know though, because see, I'm a musician myself now.
Right,
And so I want to say it kind of like it skipped a couple generations, came over to me. At least my grandmother said that, that it came over to me because a lot of the things that I learned to play, I'm self-taught.
right.
And Robert, when he first started, if I remember right,
He was
he
horrible.
was horrible when he started off until
6
he
months
left and
later.
came back 6 months later and could play like you wouldn't believe. you know. And here's another kicker. We live here in San Antonio. When he first recorded his only album was recorded at the Minger Hotel here in San Antonio.
Oh wow.
His only album, which was called The Crossroads.
So where were the crossroads that he supposedly made the deal at?
That's a good question. Shelly, thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. Like we tell you, the money goes to our boys, so that we can try to save up for them to go to Disneyland. Even though they're adults, they're special needs, and that money goes for them. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, I want to say it was somewhere in Louisiana. somewhere around there, Mississippi. I take that back, Mississippi.
It was at the bottom.
Somewhere in Mississippi. And the cross was there. They have a marker of where it is. I think you can Google it and they'll show you the marker of the crossroads. And they have a pole there, and they have a big plaque that talks about where Robert Johnson learned, gave his soul to the devil, so to speak,
Right.
And so I don't know if there's any truth to that. I do know that he died at the age of 27, and that was just sad. But if you look at his picture and you look at a picture of me, we look identical. That's what's crazy. We look
It's that and it's weird that there's that 27th age again.
Yes, the 27 Club.
I had no idea he was a member of the 27 Club.
Yes, he's a member of the 27 Club.
God, I didn't know he was related to him until I actually, before he even told me he was related to him, I looked at the picture of him and I said, "Oh my God, you look just like him."
And I do. I look just like him. So
That is crazy.
my grandma Alice used to say, "I'm him reincarnated."
You never know.
True, because I do know how to play instruments, and a lot of them I'm self-taught.
Shelly wants to know, what's the 27th Club?
The 27 Club, a lot of your famous musicians died at the age of 27. Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, my great grandfather, Robert Johnson, Jim Morrison, and the list just goes on and on. I think
Yeah.
the one now is who was the recent one that passed away at 27? I can't even think of his name. It'll come to me later. But yeah, if you go on Google, look up the 27 Club, you'll see all the musicians that passed away at the age of 27. And the majority of them were all famous. They were all famous.
Oh,
Thank you, Tex.
You didn't
Thank you
have to
so
do that.
much. It goes to our boys. Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And
My pleasure.
I know they're watching in the living room.
Yeah, because yesterday was Cody's birthday, so
Yeah,
Well, there you go. Happy birthday.
That's Cody's birthday. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. And everybody in the chat, you don't have to do that, but we appreciate it. We really do, and it goes toward our boys, not for us. It's for them. Wow.
He left him speechless.
Yeah, it did. It dropped a 50 bomb on me. It's like, oh my God, I got to pay you back on that one.
I'm just happy I'm able to do it, man.
We are just happy to have you as a wonderful friend and brother. And believe me, you always treat us like we're part of the family. And that's something that we really like.
Because you are.
We really appreciate that. And you've shown that many times. Many times. And I've said it to a lot of people, and I've even talked about you to a lot of people on different live streams about Tex Front Porch.
I appreciate that.
I'm always mentioning you.
Y'all been the topic of a few conversations behind the scenes here lately with us.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah.
Good. Like, you see them? I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It's going around. I've been watching a lot of streams, and they got the drama thing going. But here, we're like the Olive Garden. Your family, no drama.
I tell people, keep the drama to your mama.
Yes, we don't want it.
Well, that's how we run our show over there. It's weird, no drama llamas. So.
Right. We keep it family friendly. And we include everyone. We want everyone to feel at home, and we like to have fun. Even if we use a spirit box, we still like to have fun, you know. And that's just what we do, because we try to give that love back. We always tell people to pay it forward. When you wake up in the morning, smile, even if there's nothing to smile about, because your neighbor next door could be down and out about something. And if you smile and say, "Hey, how you doing? Good morning, neighbor," it may brighten his day. you know. And to Shelley Montgomery, don't be afraid to ever speak your mind. You just keep being you.
And
You're
whatever
not
you've
crazy.
seen
Whatever you see
or
or
experienced, it's not a lie.
right.
It's not a lie,
It is
honey.
not a lie. You are good. And so you can come to here, or you can go to Text Front Porch, or you can go to Boomer's channel, you can go to Christina and talk about it. You know, feel free to talk about it. Don't never hold nothing in. Never does any good.
No.
But there's
Okay.
And if no one had if everyone had a same experience, that would be boring. No offense, but
right.
I feel like if everything is the same in life, it'd be boring.
I agree.
It would
I
be
agree.
so boring.
Right.
I love hearing other people's experiences because, it's exciting and it's adventurous and
Right. And for me,
it keeps you interested and
and to
going
have an
and
open mind. And that's what a lot of people don't have, an open mind. A lot of them believe, I believe it when I see it. But
Yeah.
then when you see it, do you actually still believe it?
you got people that see and
You
still don't
know?
believe it.
So on that is kind of,
Absolutely.
so it is what it is. Boomer D said, wow, Eddie gave me a mention. I'm woo. Boomer, we love you, man. Of course, I'm gonna give you a mention. And Christina, I'll mention everybody in here. Mickey G and Shelley Montgomery and Jason Finch. We love you all. Hooking, Chris or Tina, we love you too. I was gonna say the whole name. Hooking Good Creations by Tina C. We love you all. We love everybody that's here. And I want you to do us a favor and give that love back. Give it to someone else. Because this world is changing. Believe me, it's changing every day. And we have to stay together, stick together, love one another. Those songs in the 60s mean something today. Love one another. We really need
Yep.
it, you know?
Absolutely.
So, Tex, are you going on tonight?
I am here in about 30 minutes. Me and Monica's going to go on.
I want everybody to slide over the text channel tonight. I'm going to have his link in the description box. I want y'all to go over there. We're going to be over there. I want you to go over there too. And
I
you'll see.
appreciate it, guys.
Oh, we appreciate you. And we appreciate everything that you do. We really do.
Well, right back at you.
You got any parting words for anybody in the chat?
Well, just I want everybody to know, I know there's a lot of folks out there that, you may not have family around or if you're unfortunate enough, to have a estranged relationship, which I mean, life happens but the holidays can be really rough. But don't ever think you're absolutely alone because, Eddie and Jen and us over at, Texas Front Porch, we like to think as y'all as an extended family. So feel free to reach out to us just to say hi and or Merry Christmas or whatever. And from the looks of it, I'm really gonna try. I'm really gonna try to do some shows, maybe Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, um, just hangouts. Just to have fun. So if you're not doing anything and you want to come hang out, by all means, if I'm on, y'all show up and we'll enjoy the holidays together. But I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a safe New Year, and just we love y'all and thank you so much for everybody's support. It means more than you'll ever know.
And we thank you for coming in. And I'm so sorry that I forgot. I would have been better prepared, but at the same time, I'm thankful.
Well, I'll tell you this: you're not alone
You
because
are
I forgot to. I was actually rescheduling my live. I was going to go on early, and then I saw y'all were live, and I went, "Oh crap!" And so I rescheduled it again, and then that's when I hollered at y'all. because that reminded me I was supposed to be on y'all show. And I stood y'all up once and I felt so bad for it
That's okay.
about it.
That's
And
because I feel stupid because I forgot.
well, hey, but yeah, we got a lot going on, especially this time of year and you know, so but hey, we made it, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Hey, Barry Manilow summed it up too. Looks like we made
That's
it.
right. That's right. That's right.
Again, thank you so much, Tex, for coming on board. We love you, and we will be
You
there
too.
over at your show. We will be there.
Well, I'll see you in about 20 minutes or so then.
Yes, sir. Let's give a warm applause for Tex, man. I mean, because I thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me.
Thank you, buddy.
Sorry, I had to do that. I'm silly like that. I know. Everybody, make sure you go by and check out Tex Front Porch, especially, and not just for tonight, but any night that he's on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell to get those notifications going because you will not be disappointed. And he's always got different topics.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it's one topic you don't like, you might like the next topic. And he's got different guests on the show all the time. So, and he's very consistent. So please go by, check out Tex. Thank you again so much, Tex. And
You brother, love you, man.
hey, we love you too. And your link will be in the description box on there just after the night.
Thank you, man.
We'll be
Appreciate it.
We will be there.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, now everybody in the chat, are you all ready for actually, you know what, Boomer? Let me send you a link. And oops, I keep pushing the wrong doggone button.
Middle right there. There you go.
Okay. So let's go here.
Doesn't-
Oh, right here. And right there. You see what he texted on here? Oh, waiting. There. There you go, Boomer. The wait is over. The wait is over.
Christina, you want to come up?
Now, Christina, you want to come up too?
Got 20 minutes,
Yeah,
so
we
we might
still
as well.
got 20 minutes, so we might as well have you come on up too. We could do another spirit box session while they're up here too, you all. Would y'all like that too? Just let me know in the comments below. And you know what? Just in
I
case.
have to remind you. Yeah, he will forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will forget it because I am so good at that. There's Boomer. Okay, give me a second here. And let me go here. And then go right here. Where are you? Oh, man. I got to probably let me know if you see it, if I miss it.
I don't see it. You have to look for it. Hey, Boomer.
How you doing?
Hey,
Give me.
God, Zoom was taking forever to get going here.
I'm sorry. I love text. I
Holy
love.
shit. No, I'm talking about. I hit the link like 5 minutes ago. It
Oh.
took that long for Zoom to get freaking going on me. What the hell? No, I like text too, man. I whenever I peek in at YouTube
Uh-huh.
and I see he's on, I'll pop in there for a little bit until they start talking stuff I can't understand. I like listening to him talk. And his co-host there, damn, she's a hoot, man.
Oh yeah,
What's her name again? You had her up here.
yeah,
Monica.
Monica.
Monica. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. Sunday karaoke on my D Live channel is going to be a regular thing now. We'll start at 5 and just end whenever it ends.
Okay.
Just to let you know, so you have an idea of, if you're not doing anything on a Sunday afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
early evening. But yeah, we had a hell of a good one today. Well,
Yes, and I was reading what Shelley said. Please go check on a neighbor who has no one. We all have one that's overlooked. And you're right.
Yeah, because she put
There's
right here.
always one that's overlooked. She says, may I say something? The reason I mentioned neighbors, after I moved, I found out no one went and actually cared about this person. They found him frozen, no heat.
Oh no,
wow.
his family and him.
Yeah, prayers to his family. And
Sorry
we
about
hate
that.
seeing
Crazy.
anybody that's in a situation like that. And Christina, we sent you a link on Messenger.
Oh, did you have to?
Yes.
Oh,
I
it's gonna
hope
be a rough 20 minutes.
I really hope everybody enjoyed text because I love talking and picking his brain, you know,
Oh yeah, he's very insightful.
very. And that's why I love going on the show. And it's his show never it's always different. That's another thing I love about his show.
Yeah,
Never the same thing. It's always different. And now that he's doing true crime, I just love listening to him and Monica. And
right.
they just open my eyes to
And And another thing, there's a lot of topics he goes on that I don't quite understand. I can't get into. Cryptids is one, UFOs is another. Not that I disbelieve or anything. It's just I can't bring myself to get into it because I don't know. But even when he's talking about certain things, I'm not really into. He has a way of bringing it across that makes it interesting enough that you want to sit there and listen. Like the way he comes across,
Mhm.
he's a natural born speaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like he bestows this knowledge, and I don't know where the hell it comes from. I don't know where he gets his facts from, but the way he presents it makes you believe it's all real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, this guy is a speaker, man. Like he ought to be president, you know?
He's got a big heart. He
Oh
really
yeah,
does.
he's a big teddy bear.
He's a big teddy bear. The boys love
Yeah.
him. They love him. And
He's like a white Eddie, man, with a
What?
beard.
Why does it have to be a white?
But if anybody could turn a um what's the word for a doubter? Skeptic.
Skeptic.
If there's anyone that could turn a skeptic into a believer, the way he presents it all and the way he shows it as factual, regardless of whether or not, it's like, because you can't prove somebody's personal experiences did or didn't happen, but the way he presents it,
Right.
he's
But
not telling, most people, like me, when I'm telling my stories, it sounds like it's coming out of a fairy tale book.
right.
When he talks about it, he brings you there. It's almost like you can't help but to believe him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
And
he has that natural
right.
storytelling, you know.
That's why I tell people, so you have to have an open mind.
Yeah.
Not a lot of us do. Some
I
people
try not to get too open because that leads to trouble too. Like once you start believing everything, you're gonna fall for everything. You know what I'm saying?
there's
And
some
anybody that knows Boomer, no, I'm not one to be had. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I reserve my doubts for certain things just because I'm not going to be one of those that falls for anything. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because there's
Um,
spirits, but they don't believe in cryptids, or some that believe in cryptids don't believe in the paranormal.
right, right.
I mean, so everybody, just gotta have an open mind. I believe that there's something out there, just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
Too many
Yep.
people seeing these things. whether it's cryptids or Bigfoot or UFOs. Too many people are seeing these things. So something is out there. I can't say it's true.
Right.
So I won't say that. The only thing I can say that's true would probably the afterlife.
Right. Right.
Because I seen it for myself and I didn't believe that then. So I'm the
Yeah.
same type of person. I see it if I believe it, but at the same time I keep an open mind because
Right.
something is out there. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. It's the same thing with like psychic mediums, not everybody believes that, psychic mediums are real. And for a long time I didn't either, until I started witnessing things of my own and started coming in it was like, if I wasn't one, I wouldn't believe in them either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like what I was saying earlier. They're just, people aren't going to believe it until they experience it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Shelley said, what I like about text, I always say I even question my own experiences, and he agrees.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, lovelies.
I question everything I do, or everything I experience. I question it, and I delve as far as I can into it to either prove it or disprove it, even my own stuff. I'm constantly fighting with a certain individual that comes to my streams a lot about what is real and what isn't real on my own live camera footage. Okay.
Right.
Like that will literally and I'll throw my hands up. If you say so, but I know what's here. I know, it's like that. I will argue with somebody about my own stuff and tell them, no, that's not paranormal. And they'll be like, oh, I think it is, though. I'm like, trust me, it's not. But, like Christina said, some people are just going to believe too much and some people ain't going to believe at all. There are people that are just so far gone with it, they'll believe anything's paranormal.
Right.
And then,
You can
that's
literally,
why
a spirit can walk by them and
Yeah.
they'll be like, no, I didn't see nothing.
And that's why, like what Christina said earlier, is like, you know what? I just give up on trying to prove anything to anybody. I simply sit here and discuss my own experiences, and you guys take from it what you will. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't got nothing to prove to anybody because that would mean I have to prove it to myself. I ain't got to prove anything to myself.
Mhm.
I've already demonstrated what I'm capable of doing. I've not solved, but came to a conclusion on several missing person cases. And so it's like if somebody came to me and says, you know what, you're a fake because all psychic mediums are fake, I'd be like, whatever. I'm not even going to take the time to convince them or argue their point,
Right.
because you can't argue with ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
You can't.
And ignorance isn't always that negative. It's not calling somebody stupid. They're just ignorant because they haven't experienced it. That's what ignorance is. If you're ignorant to a situation, it's only because you don't know enough about it to make a educated, decision on it.
Right. And not only that, but ignorant people, it just causes more ignorant people to show them their true colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. And there's ignorance on both sides too. Like I say, the extreme on the paranormal side.
Mhm.
That, I mean, to sit there and try to convince somebody that a crease in a curtain is a ghostly face. All right. On that side, they're the ignorant ones. Okay. If you're trying to tell me you saw the way a curtain folds and it creates this what's pareidolia, right? they're so convinced that this pareidolia is something real. That's another part of ignorance. You know, there's ignorance on both sides. There's the ignorance believing everything you see is paranormal, and there's ignorance not believing in any of it at all.
Right.
And that's what I try to that's what I've been fighting against from
Right.
day one, since I started 10 years ago with doing paranormal on live. Is I'm trying to convince the both sides, both what's the word I used just a minute ago? Extremes, you know. I tried to convince both sides of the extreme that, you know, but it's like
Right. You know, I agree with you 100%. Shelley's again, at least you all give a place to discuss all of this. Yes, we want, you know what? You have an open mind. If there's something you want to talk about, feel free to talk about it. You know, we're not going to criticize you or ridicule you. That's not what we're here for. If anything, we'll try to help you and try to figure it out what it is that you see or what it is that you believe. And we try to talk to you about it. You know, we love hearing your story. That's what we're about.
Right.
You know,
Could I make a quick
forever.
shameless plug here real quick on my behalf? For those who are just here, like Shelly, and I saw a couple others that claimed they're new to the whole paranormal group thing. If you could check out my channel and check out a few videos I did a couple of live streams about pareidolia, the EMF, ELF, and stuff like that. If you watch those videos, that'll give you a better meaning, understanding of what, you know, what is possibly paranormal and what isn't. You know, if you want to just check those out real quick, for those that are kind of new to the paranormal group here, if you watch those videos, you'll get a better understanding as to, you know, what is or isn't paranormal.
right.
Boomer's link down in the chat, Shelly. So you
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that.
There's Boomer's link right
there. You want to check it out. Yeah, and I was just gonna say, Boomer and I have known each other actually maybe a little more.
Almost 7 years and still butting heads.
7 years, still butting heads, but only because Boomer and I have had different experiences, right? Like he said, like I didn't used to believe in fairies. I thought that was something Walt Disney made up for Peter Pan, you know, and then people just ran with it, you know, and then I saw one. Like I was doing
I still say it was an eye booger.
No, I was doing a live stream and I turned around because I saw a light out the window, and I turned around, and basically in my little office, there's the window, and then there's the shed, and there's about this much space to walk in between. Like you could just fit in between the shed and the window. So right there was light up. She was so bright. It could have been a he. I don't want to say, you know, but it was a silhouette of a person, like a big dragonfly, really lit up. And it was just a silhouette of a person with wings. And I was looking and I'm like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And as soon as it looked at me and noticed me, and then I could see it full, it disappeared, like boom. I was like, what the hell? And I ran to the window and I looked for it, and I'm like, I
you know
saw
what
it.
that was?
You know?
It was a dragonfly had an affair with a firefly, or AKA lightning bug, and that was the
Anywho.
offspring.
I was very, you know, I was, like I said, I didn't really believe in them. I thought they were fairy tales. After I saw that, I was like, no, they probably exist. Now,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if it was a spirit in the form of that. Now, I can't say that that wouldn't be the case, you know, that a spirit can make themselves look like whatever they want.
Right.
That may be the case, and it maybe was a tiny little spirit. I don't know.
Right.
But because I saw that, I'm like, no, I can believe now that maybe they are there, you know?
I can believe in fairies now.
Yes. I can believe that they're there. And until they prove that they're not, I'm going to say, yeah, it's possible that there's fairies, because I saw that. And that's where people seeing that. Now, let's say it was spirits that
Tell me
manifest
about
as fairies, right? To look like fairies, maybe to not be so scary. I don't know. People are still seeing that, which means when someone comes to me and says, "Oh, I believe in fairies," I'm going to say, "Yeah, me too," because that's what we're calling that spirit that looks like that, right? So,
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
yeah, so I wouldn't argue with someone. I'd be like, "Yeah, sure," And that's why I don't argue with people, because I don't know what they saw. I don't know what the circumstances
Yeah.
are. I don't know what spirits can do, what they can look like, what they can manifest into. I
Right.
mean, I have an idea of what I want to look like when I die. And shoot, if I could look like that, I am. And you will not recognize me. So there you go.
I'm gonna look like Lucifer.
Was it wings?
Tell me
No,
about
it had
butterfly.
wings. It had wings that looked like a dragonfly, but instead of a dragonfly body, it had a little person silhouette. But it was a silhouette, I say, because it was so bright, the light that it omitted, you couldn't see features. But there's not an animal that's like that, or a bug, or there's just not,
Kelly
So
wanted to
that's why I say it was
She answered
a
it.
fairy or a
What
spirit that was dressed
butterfly
like
are
a
we
fairy.
talking
I don't
about,
know.
Shelby? Tell me about the butterfly. I don't know.
Yeah, because she asked, was its wings detached?
And she answered,
Yeah, she just answered Eddie. Welcome back, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to make a quick.
Sorry, I did answer.
Thank God the restroom was on the first floor, besides going to the second.
And then, yeah, sorry, Eddie. I forgot that I didn't tell you that I saw a cryptid. And at least I know I'm not crazy, because my ex-boyfriend at the time, my son's father,
was a cryptid.
my son's father heard it. He didn't see it because he wouldn't get out of bed.
Well, I said it was.
But at least he heard it and I saw it. So now I know it was there. It wasn't like I'm crazy and I made this shit up.
Hey, I want to say, I know James the fan was here earlier.
Yes.
If y'all happen to see him, tell him I'm sorry I get caught up in conversation. I didn't get a chance to say nothing to him. I just got caught up in the moment with text. And so if y'all happen to see him, tell him, and if he happens to hear this, James, I am sorry. But I do acknowledge that you're here, or were here, and I apologize.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, you know what? I better go that route.
James is one of those that is like, acknowledge me.
Yeah, I should.
It's like James came in on my reading day and he was like, "Can I have a card?" And I'm like, "I have a list." So, and he's in and out so fast, and I don't, I have a list. I go in order. And so what I did was I just did a little
Has he started already? Tina?
I will see you at Tex Show.
We'll see you there, Tina.
Oh yeah, we'll be there, Tex. Tina, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to call you Tex.
I'm just waiting for him to call me by another name. It's like the third and fourth time tonight.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Oh, did y'all want to do a short spirit box session again?
You got time?
I can make time. Yeah, I'll do another. Everybody in chat, do y'all want a short spirit box session? I want to see how many yes I get.
Christina will keep you,
And if you want one, we will give you one.
Yeah, that'd be the true test of my new speakers if I could hear that better.
Yeah, see, this way Boomer could test.
Oh, you got your new speakers, Boomer?
Yeah, they arrived yesterday, a day early.
Oh, Ah,
They're
yeah,
supposed to
and
be here
yesterday
Monday, but they arrived
I
yesterday.
fell asleep early, so I missed you. And then today you were on D Live, and I'm like, yay. By the time I got the notification, it was like he was live an hour ago. I'm like, what the freak?
Uh, that's all right. Mary didn't come sing either.
Kelly says
I don't sing, but I would have came and listened to you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's probably gonna be a every Sunday thing. So, you know,
okay.
if people are free between 5 and 8 on a Sunday,
Now is that gonna be
pop
on
in and sing with us
No, D Live, that's where he sings.
on
Yeah.
D Live. Yeah,
Boomer left side? That's what Shelly said.
Boomer left side. I got a late.
I got a late notification. Yeah, it was like the live stream was over. It was an hour later. And I was like, what the
Are you talking about the D Live stream today or
D
yesterday's
Live the
YouTube
D
stream?
Live today. Yesterday I fell asleep early, so I knew nothing of anything going on. But today's
That's all right.
D
Me
Live.
and Eddie had a good time yesterday, didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
He gave me a sympathy panel.
No, I didn't.
Try to hear me, bitch. This is how I saw it going down in my head. Jen turns to Eddie. Eddie, I feel so sorry for this guy. He's so lonely. He needs friends. Why don't you go up there and help him out? Oh yeah, that sounds good, Jen. Let me.
We were sitting there watching Boomer. It didn't dawn on me that you sent me a link. And so I'm just sitting because my phone wasn't even near me. So I was letting my phone charge. So I'm sitting there and we're sitting there watching Boomer. And then we heard Boomer talking about, and this is what I mean. I don't even know why I do this. And
I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty or anything, okay? But you know, Eddie helped me out yesterday, so I felt good about it after a while.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna go up on Boomer's stream, and then it was not a sympathy one.
I know. I'm just busting your balls, bro.
Been on Boomer, but Manny was having a bad day.
Yeah, rare days. At least he has them like once every 2 or 3 weeks. He has a one bad day.
But this week was all bad.
Oh, this whole week was bad.
It was a bad week.
He's just been
so
rare form. Now, a lot of you guys, if you're in here, if you know, we have 3 boys with special needs, and Manny is severely autistic, has mild cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and when he gets upset, he gets upset.
Yeah, I had a TV remote come flying, so yeah.
Believe me, she's broke Jen's ribs before, so.
Yeah, Kelly, the when I do karaoke, it's on my D Live channel.
Yeah, and come by and sing, because I always said that music, is a whole universe of its own. One thing that people love in this world is music, and a lot of people love to sing, and singing is what makes people happy.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you know how to sing or you don't, as long as you're happy.
Yeah, we're just there to have fun. We already know I'm the best singer in there, so.
Right, so he's got us all beat anyway. So we show up just to get brownie points. Just for
Ken was there today. I was surprised. You guys know karaoke Ken?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he popped up there and sang a few songs with us. He's like, yeah, it's a good thing. The wife took the kids shopping today, so I had some time to come up. I was like, yeah, that old ball and chain, huh?
Jason said text Porch is now.
Yeah, he just went live. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we'll have to make it for another day.
I gotta work.
So I'm gonna drop off of here. We're gonna head over to Text Front Porch.
We're gonna see y'all over there at Texas.
Yeah. Go in there and do like old school and do Eddie and Jen the vlogs raid.
Right.
Do that. Eddie and Jen vlog raid. So when you go in there, tell them you came from Eddie and Jen.
Yeah.
And you will get knowledge by
Does anybody need Texas link again? Although I think I just put it in there.
Yeah, anybody need the link? Yeah, go ahead and put it in one more
I
time
got this channel saved.
because we are getting
Just
ready.
can't see it right now.
And I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you, Christina, Boomer. Sorry it's late that you came on. That's my
Okay.
fault. My
Oh,
bad.
that's all good. We know you're a forgetful guy. We
So,
forgive you.
so there's the
I
For
mean, of
having
all
us.
people you forget, text. I mean,
and next week I will have another guest, and that I do know. So see you over at Tex. We love you guys. Have
much
a
love. Keep it real.